children. We have methods where we have discussions happening in classrooms. Yeah, we have scenarios where we would be talking about, doing a group project with students. But, each project or each way of teaching is basically your methodologies or your method which you use in classroom to teach something. So at ICT360, what we do is we completely work on a project-based methodology where instead of teaching a child, okay, this is the technology or this is the software which you should learn, we focus on something where, like kind of give them a project which they would do and understand something. If I ask anyone right now that when you learn computers, again, this is a very common question for everyone at this moment. If you can answer, it's quite good for me to get an idea about how or what kind of people I'm actually talking to. So this is very important that when you learn computers in school, what were you taught computers? What was the way of getting introduced to technologies and all? Like in my case, I remember learning technology just through a theoretical process. मुझे एक book से पढ़ाया जाता था, something like that. So, have anyone has any different experience of learning technologies? We can open up on a very common channel out there. I mean, you can definitely ask your own questions as well. And if I'm asking questions, I would love to hear back from people, like what is their thought process. So we'll definitely come back to questions again. So I'll just give an idea that when we learned computers, we very predominantly learned computers through textbooks. And most of the children, when they were learning technologies in schools, by the time they came into the age of 10th and 12th, they were not very familiar with a lot of technologies. They were not knowing a lot of technologies. And especially at the time when we had been through the difficult times of the pandemic, a
Recording in
birthday card
progress.
kind of a thing out here. It's a knowledge-based session, ma'am. We are talking about how ICT360 is going to help students in school and the kind of technologies we are bringing for school students. Okay. So what we do now is we basically improved the way the technology is taught to children. So we'll raise them a question. Okay, so we have a birthday coming up in the next week, and we need to design a birthday card for the a person whose birthday is coming up in the next week. So how do you design a birthday card? What kind of challenges are you facing when you're planning of designing a birthday card? So the children will come up with thought processes. I don't know how to use this. I don't know. I don't have papers to print it. So we try to bring them into a skill-based environment. So CBSE talks about very strongly on the fact of how technologies should become skill independent and skill dependent. Okay. So, like, let's say, for example, if I talk about something like um, well, we'll definitely answer your questions. I'll take once I cover up a topic, I'll open up to these questions because this is really a nice thing to answer this kind of questions which are coming up on the screen. So just let me finish up this slide and then I'll open up to your questions because that's very important for us to answer that as well. So what I was talking about is the way the project is brought into the classroom. So, like there's the thought process of teaching technology to student has to change because we have been very focused on just catering to what comes as a society requirement. So the children, if they don't understand the use of technology and they are not given the right exposure of technology, they will never ever understand how to use it properly. That's what the idea is. Okay, so for example, there's a question which I can see out here is that as one of the person from the team is asking as for basics of computer education in school it is okay, but nowadays all engineers are not interested in work in field and eager to work in AC rooms in the name of technology. Technology is the need-based learning, so why to learn in schools which may not be useful in the work? Okay, now that's a very different. I mean, I would not say a wrong approach, but a very different approach. So I'll give an example out here. So let's say presently I'm connecting with you, and I would have loved to be there in a live room and do a presentation or do a discussion with every one of you. But as I understand it, each one of us is at different place and at different location. It becomes very difficult to connect with all of you all without technology. So we are in a world where the network and the business world works very much being dependent on technology. The present generation, because they have only focused on the careers which come into the category of mechanical, electrical, or civil, a lot of them, which we have seen, look at getting into different careers after finishing up their engineering and all those things. Now, when they actually look at those types of careers, I mean, not every engineer is very keen on becoming an engineer and working in a field. They can get into much different varieties of fields. So what happens is that when we are connecting with such kind of people, we always find them, very uh, unfamiliar with a lot of technologies. Okay, we don't find them knowing the use of those technologies. So usually they would prefer that, okay, I can't do this thing. So why not I just stick to an environment where I don't need to learn these technologies? It's because they have never got the exposure of using those technologies to their benefit. So what we thought is, or what we do is, we give them those kind of projects in the school itself, which gives them an exposure of such kind of technologies, which will be used by them if they are familiar with it. I'll give an example which happens with us in one of our programs. So in grade 7th and 8th, when we work with schools, we kind of, give them projects on website development and website design. Now, website design is something which is, of course, an in-house work, and a lot of people work in that area because they want to be in the comfort of working in an AC environment, as you're saying. But that does not involve only technology. When we are doing a project with them, because it is a design-based project, there is an initial working on research, there is an initial working on getting the data for the website, then there is a lot of DIYs, there is a lot of paperwork. The teaching of technology is not complete without traditional aspects brought into the learning. So when the children are learning technology, we integrate traditional knowledge inside it so that they understand the use of technology and then they are able to implement it in the right way. So if we consider just a specific bunch of people and then we decide that whether technology should not be used would not be the right way of actually looking at technology. Why in schools? I believe the foundation has to be very strong with respect to using technologies, then actually going into the college and then learning different kind of technologies. Because there's a very strong possibility that by the time uh, the student would actually be in the college and want to learn a new technology, they will not be able to understand how to work on those technologies. So it's better that a foundation is taught in the classroom, and then they are given a chance of going into college and deciding what kind of technology they should use for their projects. I can also answer it in a very different way as well. Like, let's say, when someone is asking me, like, Imran, how do you look at students who are not interested in learning all these technologies? And how do you actually look at them getting exposed to such kind of technologies in future? So the biggest problem with students using technology and learning technology is the traditional methods we have used. Okay. Like, for example, a good lot of students still in state board schools or in tier 2 cities or tier 3 cities are exposed to technology in the format of only getting to know something like, through the books. So what happens is, in that scenario, the child's learning is always on a rote learning format. They just learn that aspect with respect to learning and clearing the exam and going ahead. We completely move away from that format. We believe the technology should be taught in such a manner that the child should be able to use that on daily basis. That's why in the lower grades, we focus on such kind of tools and technologies which would actually help students getting familiar with the basics of using technologies. Like, for example, we will teach them how to email. We'll teach them about basic digital citizenship, where they will know what not to share on internet, what kind of passwords they should keep. As they go to grade 3 and 4, we introduce them to concepts of photo editing, media design, where they will understand how such kind of technologies can be used for their benefit and how it also affects their own privacy and secrecy. At the same time, as they go to grade 4, 5, 6, they are introduced to different concepts of technology, where they will understand to use technology for creating their own classroom projects. They will be able to create more theoretical projects can be converted into more DIY projects, more hands-on experience projects. So we believe that they should be learning technology with traditional methods as a part of it. That's why throughout our entire program, when we were working on the technologies of this programs, we kept in mind that the children should not only learn technology, they should have the traditional methods come inside it. So it's very important that we give them projects which they really understand, they know where to use it, and then they achieve something out of it. And we also felt like, as an important body, that the children should also learn such kind of technologies which are right in the right age and are actually usable. So when we come with technology, we don't just randomly come to your school with technology. We have not worked in that format that we are just coming randomly to your school. So let's say, for example, if I talk about my screen right now, you see there's something called as IST, which is the International Society of Technical Education. This society takes into consideration the amount of technology and what is the technology, or what is the platform, what kind of tools are being taught to what student. All this is basically taken care by this society, which is the International Society of Technical Education. These people define and they align and accredit a body that this is the type of technology which you should be teaching your child in classroom. So if IST feels that if I am introducing AutoCAD to a child in grade 8, they will object on that. They'll say that that's not a right tool because that's very young for a child to learn CAD or something. Maybe the right age to introduce that tool will be 9th or 10th standard. Or let's say, for example, if I'm introducing the concept of video editing to a 3rd standard child, so this IST will refine it by saying that no, that's not the right tool to be introduced in that age because the children might use it for wrong purpose. So IST controls the technology exposure of your children. Plus, you need to understand that the entire society of tomorrow will be based on the new education policies we have come up with. So with the new education policy, which is already there right now, they have devised that whatever the child is learning now has to be skill based. So this also again comes to the answer to the question which was raised is, if these technologies which are introduced right now, they will become obsolete by the time the child will be in the college. So what is the benefit of learning this technology? So you have to understand something that when we do projects, we don't focus on the fact that yeah. So when like when you go to a college, the first question which normally people would have it, what skills are you familiar with? And CBSE board and of course all the other boards are very, very, very keen on kind of working on the fact that how strong are we working in the field of skills. So there are skills like teaching children about woodworking, teaching children about beauty, teaching children about electronics, introducing students to the concept of application design. There are so many skills which CBSE is talking about. Now they are saying that apart from the academics five subjects, that is math, science, English, and all those things, we have to have skill-based learning in the children. So that's what has been our motto for a very long time, that we are working with people in the skill-based field industries and all. So when we design the curriculum, as per the standards of NEP, we focused very strongly on keeping skills as the core of any tools where the child is learning. So I'll give them a project saying, we are going to make an app to check the weight of an object which is more than 10 grams and less than 50 grams. So the children will develop an app and understand how to use it and create the entire app using coding and all. And while doing that, they are learning science, they are learning technology, they are learning maths. So we have seen, I can show you a very beautiful example of a project which has been done by one of our school students, where the kids have actually what you can say, like they have made some amazing I'll show you something, just a second. So students are learning so many new things, they're learning so many beautiful projects from us. So how do they actually learn and benefit from it? It's very important. So this is an example of a project which we have done with grade 6, 7 standard students, where they learn how to create they are introduced to the concepts of electronics and all with from our side. So instead of just teaching them coding or something, okay, so I'll just switch on the sound. One second.
Hey, you go ahead.
So this is the project which I just showed was done by a seventh standard student, where they wanted to create an alarm system when something comes close to that object. So how does the alarm system works? Whereas the reality of the project was when we tried to show them the parking system of a car, that how does the parking system detects something which is close to the car, or while parking, how does it work? So that concept of the challenge of parking was brought into a classroom environment, and the children using the electronic kits were able to create a project which gave them how sensors work. Other projects, like for example, let me show you something more. So this is like one more project which you can have a look at, one of the students doing this project. So let me show this to you as well. So this is where the student is working on the LED systems and lighting systems and all those things. So I'm just showing you the electronics part because there are many projects we have, and we can show you like how we actually bring the children into an environment where they code and they learn this kind of technologies, and then they implement it into the classroom. So many people have a thought process that as an institution or as a body, we are very keen on introducing students to very advanced technologies and going out of their way bringing very advanced tools into the classroom environment. No, we don't work in that format for schools because we have to keep in mind that students don't learn with a very advanced toolkit. Students learn with the right project. So that's why the project has to be right, and very basic equipments can be used by the children to create something amazing. So when students learn with very simple Arduino kind of kits, which are just 1500, 2000 rupees kits, which are available in the market, students are able to create their own project and they really achieve some amazing outputs from the projects which we are doing in the classroom. Definitely would like to show more, one or two more projects which you would really give you an understanding about the kind of tools we are using to work in the classroom. So, we give them a very defined task. We'll tell them, okay, why don't you do one thing? Why don't you go into a classroom environment and create a object? So they will start thinking over different types of projects. They will come up with different concepts. And schools are going very ambitious with introducing students to concepts. So see, this is one lab where we work with one of the school, and we have created a lab for that school. So you can see how advanced schools are going with respect to this is one school where the school has actually brought in all the different types of concepts of technology to this doorstep of the child, so that the child, when he comes into the school and when he goes into the design lab, he would be using the tools which he wants and gets really amazing outputs. So this is one of the school, a CBSE board school in the northern part of the country, where they are very have different skills apart from the language. So they create every different types of labs which the child would want to learn. So the child is interested in learning, let's say, video editing. So they have given them a painting. If then the child is interested in learning audio recording, they will learn singing. So they have an audio recording room. The child is interested in learning how to record a video, how to shoot a video. So just to provide them one space where the child can see learn and the child will then decide the kind of a career he wants to go through. Actually, deciding artificially formal education, many of them do not be able to know that kind of industry. So when we talk about skill-based education, this is what is skill-based education. Get directly to the doorstep of the child so that he can know the types of skills he can do, the develop the and it becomes something they have to want to go into electronics within the child. Can open up to questions. If anyone has any questions right now, you can definitely raise your questions. We are here to answer your questions. If you have any questions, please let us know. We would love to answer your questions, especially with respect to what we are doing in the field of academics with respect to technology. Of course, Mr. Deepak and his team has been working in the field for a very long time, and they are already connected with you. But at the same time, with new technologies coming in, you can definitely have your own questions. So this is how we actually work in schools, and I would like to bring it to your understanding about how we actually bring in technology. So the first thing is we don't overburden a school with too much of technologies. At the same time, it's not necessary that the child of grade one has to be given 50 different technologies. It's more of how kids are actually introduced to the tools so that they understand the use of those tools. Now you need to look at my screen and understand this. Let's say, for example, if I am a teacher of grade one and I have to introduce children to the concepts of, how digital citizenship works. Now, digital citizenship means your children should understand how to use, how to create passwords, how to save passwords, how to restrict usage of passwords, how does internet work, what is the meaning of network, what is the meaning of a browser, what is the meaning of a computer interface. So, all these things which your child needs to know in that particular grade, if it is just given to them as, look, this is the internet, they might understand what's internet, but they might not know how to use it very professionally. So what we do, we give them a task to achieve. So we'll tell them, okay, so you have to use this application, run this application. Now in this application, you have to create your own password. So the first thing is there is a secrecy that you can't share your password with any of your friends. So can you think of a password which is really very difficult to remember? So the children will then start thinking of, and then we'll give them conditions. Okay, so now your password should have something which is you have to have numbers in your passwords. So then we'll tell them, okay, no, but if you use your birthday, it will not be allowed. So we create a challenge for them, and that challenging environment automatically teaches them the competency which they need to develop. So the competency which needs to be developed in grade one and two can be understanding, it can be basic problem solving skills or critical thinking skills. At times, it can be about understanding observational skills. So, all these skills are in a hidden manner taught to them using a project, and technology becomes the tool for those kind of learning. So when we do a project in the school, our focus is not on the technology, but the learning of the child. So we believe in an experiential learning methodology where experiencing the concept teaches the child how to use, how to work on that kind of an environment. So one more example would be like, for example, in grade 5 and 6, we want to teach children the concept of, let's say we have to teach them something related to force. So in a fifth standard environment, if we have to teach a child a physics formula is like uh, distance covered is equal to the force applied. All these kind of formulas really become very overwhelming for children of grade fourth and five, and then they really would want to learn it in a more better manner. So what we do is we do game design as a project in grade five. And when we are doing that game design as a technology, we use the concepts of what has been done in the classroom, and the children use those formulas and concepts in the game. So we'll tell them, okay, if you have to move a bird up in your game, you have to apply gravity to that bird. But when you apply gravity without any value, the bird will just go up. So apply the standard gravity which is necessary for a bird to be staying on the earth or planet. So they will use that concept which they have learned in the class and apply that into the technology classroom environment. So now what happens is the child understands something as called as multidisciplinary approach, that what I have learned in my maths or science class can be implemented into my technology class. And once they both work together, they both are amalgamated together, the child's learning becomes better. So we do that, and we tell them, okay, now if these are the different types of tools, you pick up the tool which you want and you do it on your own. You don't need to worry on the fact that which tool or technology is going to be available in future. You just get the concepts clear. That's why even the entire process of teaching different types of technology on a platform happens through an experiential learning by doing method. कोई भी चीज बच्चों को सिखाने के लिए we follow a format that the project should be done and tool should become a part of it. The tool should not define the project. So if I'm supposed to make a birthday card, the birthday card should be first taught through a paper, and then the teacher should say, okay, now this can be done using a tool like Canva or can be used, we can use Corel Draw, or we can use a tool like Vector. Now that card, if you have really made it beautiful, then the teacher can do is tell the child that why don't you make a PowerPoint presentation of this particular project and explain to the class how did you make this card. So that will automatically teach your child effective presentation skill. Most of the generation of today, when they actually go into professional fields, they are not confident to take proper presentations. Their communication skills are really very bad. At times they are so much dependent on automations and tools available online that they are not able to even write proper emails. So when such kind of technology learning is going to happen, they will at least learn how to use technologies more properly. That's what the idea is when we are bringing in technology into schools. As we go to higher grades, we bring more skill-based technologies into environment, introducing students to the concept of machine learning, 3D printing, electronics, laser cutting, woodworking, CNC machines. Such kind of tools are available now for students. There are already beautiful kits available for students, which schools are using around the globe to teach different things to students. So let me show you something which will give you an understanding. Let me just go back and show you a very beautiful. Okay, go here. Um, okay, yeah, 1 second. So we have nowadays labs which are very beautiful labs available where schools are developing such kind of labs for their kids. So this is a woodworking lab which schools have woodworking labs where students have small machines. These are replications of those big machines which professionals use in industry. They are now replicated and created in a manner that students of grade 5, 6, 7, 8 can come into those classroom environments and learn such kind of technologies to create small objects. So woodworking has become a part of child's learning nowadays. We are looking at 3D printing also as a very important aspect of child's learning. Electronics and mechatronics, robotics has become a very important part of your child's learning. If you look at today's scenario, a good lot of those children are really keen on learning such kind of technologies. Electronics has become a very important part of your child's learning in schools nowadays. Students want to learn such kind of things because this gives them an exposure to what are different options available in the market. That's what the idea is. Okay, if we focus on something where we are only bringing them to such kind of fields which are, the engineering or mechanical engineering or such kind of fields, there are many other new fields which have come up. So just to give you an understanding, we in the last 1 year, 1.5 year, 40 different careers have become obsolete. What I mean to say is, these were professions which where people were working in such kind of professions because of advanced technologies and because of very new different types of technologies available in the market. A good lot of those careers have completely become obsolete for students. And by the time this generation which is there in the school right now, they will go there, no one will even remember those careers. One of them is I mean, like, still it is in its struggling phase, copywriting. Because of AI and because of a lot of tools, a very huge amount of copywriting work is now done by electronical devised AI tools and all. So students would be kind of learning from such kind of tools. So that's there. Then let's say if you're talking about careers, so I'll just show you an example. This screen would give you a much better understanding about what I'm talking. So these are the new careers which have come up in recent times, and I'll just share my screen with you. So these are the new careers which have come up. Now, if you look at maximum of these careers which we are talking about, which is growing and developing at a very high rate, most of them are either design-based careers or they are technology-based careers. So if we are looking at film, communication design, interior design, graphics design, we are looking at industrial automation. Most of these future career opportunities are going to use technology very extensively. So we have to work in relation with these technologies, where traditional things also have to become a part of a platform, and past present new technologies also have to become a part of our working. Okay. Yeah. Um, so we have more questions. Yeah. Okay. So yes, definitely. I have a very good statement coming from someone that knowledge of technology is useful for ITI, diploma, certificate, and all those things. It is a continuous upgradation because of fast changing, and also good for working children to upgrade their skills. Well, one thing which I would like to add out here is our experience. So, as Sir said, that we have been working with schools from last 15 years. So, sir, in last 15 years, if you look at what has happened in the school, uh, I remember in 2011, that was my first time when I actually moved from a professional world. I was from a film and media world, and I was completely into technology, being a Autodesk certified instructor, and I was working with a lot of film productions and all those things. And I came into a technology environment where schools were looking at bringing in technology. And the first day I went to a school and said that, "Hey, we want to create a program for you where we are going to teach you how to create animations." And the principal was like, no student or parents would be interested in learning animation. Why should we teach such kind of thing to the children? And how is it going to help them professionally? How is it going to help them with such kind of things? So I said, "Ma'am, why do you look at animation as to be a film based career only? We use animation in medicines, we use animation in engineering, using animation in marketing, in advertisement, we are using animation in teaching. Your school's content is being made in animation." So that is definitely a very important tool for the child to learn, so that they can create a project for them. So the teacher agreed to us, and we started teaching animation to the students of ninth and 10th standard in the school. Now, what happened after that is, once the entire thing was taught to the ninth standard student made a project of a heart, and the teacher of that class basically took that model of 3D and she gave it to the science teacher who was teaching heart as a topic in the science class. So she took that heart model and she took it to the science class, and the science teacher was able to open it in front of the class and show them, okay, this is the heart, this is the left ventricle, this is the right ventricle. So we showed them that how children can develop content which can be used by your school as well. So that was an example where technology was automatically used by the child for his own learning, at the same time for other students learning as well. So it's very important that we look at integrating technology into their learning. See, that it has to be a controlled environment. I cannot bring in 50 different tools and tell, you should go ahead with such kind of tools for your kids and all, because it's a very vast world, if you really ask me. अगर आपको मैं just एक simple understanding बोलूं, if you look at my present scenario, where I have so many different tools. So now let me show you something. Okay. Uh, So in the schools from grade 1 to grade 10, this are the amount of different technologies which becomes a part of a child's learning. If you look at this thing, there's so many different technologies. Look at in the primary grades, we have MS Office, we have Scratch, we have block coding, audio recording, video recording, you have basics of coding. And as you go to higher grades, you bring in programming, we bring in animation, we bring in 3D. But I can't bombard a student with all these technologies in one go. I mean, how do you expect us to do that? It's not possible. And that's why uh, we are controlled by COPA very strongly. So COPA is basically Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which is an act which takes into consideration the exposure and control of technologies for students. So, I can't just come up and say into a school that, okay, your school is really very good, why don't we add MIT App Inventor in your fourth standards class? Or it many times it happens that parents come and say that, my child is really very good with programming. Why don't you start teaching Python in grade 2? Okay, look at our situation. A parent coming and saying that in second standard introduce Python kind of a coding or Java. So parents can, I mean, of course, it is your own child. You can be ambitious about your own child, but that's not the right age. That's not the right learnings which you should need to be introducing to your children. Okay, I would like to talk about something very important because this is a very different topic and it will really help you to understand how we need to develop our own generation right now for better learning. So there is something called as skills. Okay, each one of you have your own skill sets, and you are really very good with your own different types of skills. And when we talk about skills, there are a lot of right age of different types of skills. Okay, so just let me share something very beautiful. This is a kind of an area which you can look at how does it work with your kids. So we'll open up to questions after I explain this. This is really something good. As a parent, you can definitely look at it. As a individual, you can look at it and understand what I'm talking about. So we initiated the program with saying that nowadays so many different types of skills are available, and we're talking about so many different types of technologies and all those things. ये सारी टेक्नोलॉजी एक स्पेसिफिक फॉर्मेट में चलते हैं जो स्किल बेस्ड होना बहुत जरूरी है. So your children should, or the generation, or your work environment, or your own staff, or your own people who are working, or in colleges, or engineering colleges, and all, skills are a very important part of anyone's learning. Okay, I have a question. Just a second. Right. So, like skills are a very important part of a learning. Like, for example, if you look at when a child is very small and if you have to teach him how to ride a bicycle, you will definitely give him a tricycle and you'll tell him that, okay, bacha, आप tricycle से सीखो, आपको cycle चलाना सीखना है. But if a child of 16 years or 17 years of age will come and say that I want to learn cycling, you will not give him a tricycle. You will tell him that, you are already in an age where you have developed your motor skills. Why not you directly ride a cycle, which is a proper cycle, which is available. You just need to understand to learn it in 2 3 days. So in the entire episode where a child is learning something, there are different levels of skills. There is a nascent level, there is an emerging level, and there is a developed level of your child's learning. So what we do is we focus on such kind of skills for your children so that the children actually are learning those skills when they are working in a classroom environment. So a teacher in the school, if your teacher is teaching a child about colors, the colors or the concept is focused on teaching the child the meaning of color differentiation and color recognition. Okay. Now, what is the skill out here? The skill is अगर आप एक सिग्नल देख रहे हो तो आपको पता है कि दैट इज अ रेड सिग्नल ग्रीन सिग्नल व्हाट इज कलर डिफरेंशिएशन इट्स वो रेड है वो ग्रीन है वो ब्लू है मुझे जो ग्रीन पे अगर गाड़ी चलानी है तो दैट इज द स्किल विच इज नीडेड नॉट रिकॉग्नाइजिंग द कलर व्हाट यू शुड डू आफ्टर रिकॉग्नाइजिंग द कलर इज द स्किल विच नीड्स टू बी डेवलप सो वो जब एक बच्चा फर्स्ट या सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड में रहेगा तो उसको इतनी नॉलेज नहीं रहेगी तो वो एक डेवलपिंग स्टेज में है लेकिन by the time the child is in grade 8th and 9th, he has already developed that skill. So you will expect a child of 8th and 9th standard, 6th standard, 7th standard to stop when he sees a red signal. This is what is skill development. So at ICT360, we focus very strongly on the fact that throughout the learning of the program, introduce students to the concept of technology learning and all those things, but be very clear about sticking to skills, sticking to traditional methods, and make technology a part of it. So that's what we do at ICT360. We focus on making technology as a tool instead of making technology as the main tool and bringing everything apart into it. Okay, so what we do is when we go into a school and we start working with a school, we create an ecosystem for them. We create a self-sustainable environment. तो किसी भी स्कूल को या किसी भी till 12th standard we work with till schools till 12th standard. So we just don't go and give them these technologies and tell them that aap isko padha lo. No, we don't do that. We believe in a very strong hand holding environment. We go to the schools and we talk about how technology it can be brought into the school, what kind of a curriculum should be given to a school, what kind of a syllabus should be available for the teachers. the teachers should be taught such kind of technologies, how to teach those kind of technologies, how to provide all this dynamic and overwhelming knowledge to a teacher through an online platform, how to create classrooms for them so that they can teach interdisciplinary project. All these things become a part of ICT360. So it's not just a platform, or it is not just a technology program. It is a complete robust solution for a school which is looking at empowering their children with the best of technology training available, and at the same time empowering them to become better innovators, better collaborators, better problem solvers by giving them different types of technologies so that they can really take decisions and understand how to use those technologies. Of course, ये sentence बहुत बड़ा था and it would have been a very complex one. So I'll just try to make it more easier for anyone who wants to understand this. कि, coming to a school or coming to an environment and giving them, okay, this is the most latest technology, start teaching this. We can't do that. We have to introduce technology in a very proper manner. बट सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है वो टेक्नोलॉजी किसी को पढ़ाना है तो सबसे पहले उस पर फोकस करना बहुत जरूरी है जो वो टेक्नोलॉजी पढ़ाने वाला है. तो टीचर पे फोकस करो, उस टीचर को राइट टूल दो, राइट करिकुलम दो, राइट ट्रेनिंग दो, राइट सपोर्ट दो, राइट रिसोर्सेज दो, and automatically that teacher will be able to impart that education to the children in the class. That's how ICT360 works. Okay. We work with schools with textbooks and an online platform, and we have our own resources and all. We work with a lot of schools in different technology environments where we are using woodworking, robotics, and all those things. These are the things which are happening in schools right now, and we work with them. Schools have their own resources. We provide them the content and the curriculum. So that's what ICT360 is all about. I did talk about different types of labs and all which we are coming up with. So I guess that brings me to the end of what I wanted to talk about. I'll definitely, these are some beautiful slides which you can have a look at. We believe in teachers training. That's why teachers training becomes a very important part of a platform. Uh, unless and until the one who's teaching is not trained in the proper manner, no child will get the right training done in the classroom. So teachers training also becomes a very important part of a learning. Okay. And competitive edge. We have a national competition which happens at our end. So this is something like, where schools are very, students are very competitive. They are very keen on participating in competition and showing their skill sets. They have a very strong sportsmanship. They have a very strong, competitive edge to their thought process. So competitions become a very important part of your child's learning, and that's why we do a lot of competitions, and we also connect students to a lot of international competitions. That's what we believe in. I guess Deepak sir, I'll open up to you now. You can definitely take over because this is all quite a marketing thing for them. So these are where we are already working with schools. Is it there? Deepak sir, are you there?
Thank you, Imran ji. It was a nice presentation.
Yes.
Any question? In fact, I request, see, we have a lot of key people from education fraternity. They are with us. We have Dr. Kamlesh Vaishnav. He is basically professor at computer science department in MS University. We have Mr. Kishore Lodia. He is basically one of the veteran IT professional. We have Udham Singh. Dilipbhai Patel was the principal of Polytechnic. Shailesh Kumar Shah, he is basically the director, senior technical director at Gandhinagar. And we have Mr. Ramkesh Meena. I think he left. Ramkesh is there? No, he's not there. So he is also an IT expert. So I request Dr. Kamlesh Vaishnav to say a few words about what he thinks about offering this kind of curriculum at the school level.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're
Okay.
audible.
Okay. So actually, I'm, could not agree anymore with Mr. Imran that, project based or skill based learning must be there. Actually, this is, I have also observed, right? When my words for the teach learn the computer subject at the school, that normally they teach them only from the books theoretical concept they are teaching, but they don't give the more exposure to the practical skill or practical aspect of the subject. And sometimes they think even computer science also boring, technology also boring. And in fact, I believe that technology is required for anybody, right? Whether they go for the computer science and information technology later on or not, even advocate, the doctors or other engineers, right? Either civil, mechanical, whosoever is, right? Everybody needs to learn at least some basic technology, right? IT technology. And another thing I have observed, that is also a very good point, I think, mentioned by the Mr. Imran, that normally the syllabus is very, very good. I mean, I have gone through even NCRT books also, some mod books also. The syllabus is good, content is also good, but the teachers normally they are teaching at the school level, right? They are not properly trained, and normally they are unable to, generate the interest or unable to teach the student in a very proper way, for example. So actually, it's a the lacking on the the HR side rather than the technical side. School have a good infrastructure also, very
Yeah,
good contents are also introduced in the in terms of the syllabus and everything.
yeah,
And I think that is what should be included in the syllabus. That depends on many aspects, because India is very diversified. The urban areas are there, rural areas are there. So
right,
I think the one syllabus may not be applicable to the entire India. That is what I believe. That depends. For example, for a metro city, something else could be there. For a village, something else could be there. But anyway, they should learn the at least office tools. The internet, networkings, email, how to do the emails, right? How to use the different types of apps, something like that. The government websites, right? Something like that.
yeah,
That needs to be there. And sometimes we are facing a different problem, right? In HEIs, we feel that we have very the you can say syllabus which is of not, you can say, competent syllabus when the when we compare it with the industry's requirement. Actually, there is always gap when even engineers are out from our institutes, right? And there
right,
are reasons also, even we are unable to introduce any high level, because we cannot expect that everybody have coming from the different kind of schooling system, they have learned the computer fundamental things. In fact, people have started, but still there are many government school where the computer teaching is almost nil, something like that, right? So
right,
we are unable to assume that they are having certain level of fundamental knowledge, and we can start from that point onwards. And because of that reason, we have to again start from the scratch. And
yeah,
because of that, we are not able to provide the more courses which are required for them to prepare for the industry, and we are only able to provide only fundamental subjects. So we are facing a different types of the situation, that we have a competent people, right? We have
yeah,
almost all PhDs, for example, professors, and having
right,
20 more than 20 years of experience, teachers are we are having. But then also we are not able to provide something to the students, right? For example, I think
yes,
that's a thing actually. So there are
yeah,
different, there are many issues. For example, I could
mm,
not discuss right now, but it's okay. I think the approach and the I think whatever the things are discussed, that is fine, I think. And as
yeah,
Deepak sir mentioned that this company, ICT360, they are using open source software. So that is
yes,
also a very good thing, that it should be promoted, so that
mm,
people don't have to indulge into the licensing kind of thing and something like that. It can be
yes.
easily implemented by anybody, I think.
So
Anyway, we can discuss sometime later.
I
So
really liked your
yeah,
statement on the fact that acceptance of, the challenges which happen in the college environment and all when students are coming out and learning. And of course, it's not possible to even give exposure of all the technologies available.
yeah,
Completely agree to the fact that we have a diversified environment in every region. I mean, like if I look at Gujarat right now, what I would be giving in Ahmedabad cannot be given in Surat and cannot be given in Baroda at times because the schools are different, the paying capacity of the school parents are different, the learnings are different. We did keep that in mind at ICT360, but of course, then with such a high diversified environment in the country, it really at times becomes difficult for us. But our approach is that at least the foundation should be strong so that when students are going to colleges and if they have to learn on their own, at least they are familiar with the basics of the technologies, which
yes,
then
yes, yeah.
that's the more important core of our program.
Kishore bhai, would you like to say anything?
No, sir. Thanks. I think from my side.
Kamlesh bhai, thank you very much for excellent feedback, and I think this feedback will be very valuable to them, and with this feedback, probably they will be able to do something better. And maybe when they visit here, maybe I'll take your time and we'll meet sometime.
Yeah, sure. Oh,
Thank, thank you.
maybe.
Kishore bhai, would you like to say anything? Yeah, go ahead. Kishore bhai, you can talk.
Yeah, first of all, I think I missed some initial part of the presentation. I would request if you have a webinar recording to pass it on to me.
Yeah, I'll share that.
Yeah. Secondly, we are into basically hardware and peripherals and other related area, and we have been associated with various educational institute also. We have a company called Equipment Rentals where we give all this kind of equipments on a rental basis. So Imranji, if you have any requirement where school or any institution would not like to go in a capex kind of a model, but they would want to go in for a opex where they would want to take equipments in a their life cycle kind of a contract period,
Right.
like in IT or other field, they take it for a 3 year or a 5 year contract, and after 5 years when equipment becomes old, we take it back and give them the new equipments at that relevant times. So those kind of facilities we provide to the customers. So if you come across any inquiry where such kind of a thing is required, we can help it.
So that
Secondly, as far as the uh, uh, education in the field and at the primary or secondary level schools, do you have any content or programs for the adult education where people learn in the higher studies like engineering college or in the practical field, professional field, continuing education, adult education?
So, I only cater to that area where I work with the academics of schools. But we do have a lot of other teams, and Deepak sir is already connected with our entire body, and he would be one of the most amazing person to actually connect you with, because we have higher education as a part of our platforms, and of course we have different areas. So Deepak sir would definitely, he would be able to give you a better answer on this. I work with schools, so my complete entire focus is on working with the academics of schools and all. So, Deepak sir, if you can just add in something out here.
Yeah, Kishore bhai, we'll talk about this because this forum is primarily talking about the school education. So I'll talk to you later, offline.
Good. As far as the schools are concerned, yes, I think the program gives a lot of insight or a different viewpoint from the traditional viewpoint that everyone is catering to. So it's a very good eye opener or a different viewpoint.
Fine. Fine. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you for the feedbacks. Thank you.
उधम सिंह सर आपको कुछ बोलना है तो
Yes, I am audible. सुनाई दे रहा है? Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
मिस्टर इमरान, आई हैव जो मैंने आपका ये सुना, तो मेरा जो कमेंट है, मैं खुद आईआईटी रुड़की का एमटेक हूँ।
Yes.
उस समय मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर हूँ। उस समय उन दिनों कंप्यूटर वगैरह कुछ नहीं था। लेकिन वाइल वर्किंग इन ओएनजीसी जब हम लोग बुजुर्ग हो गए, सीनियर लेवल पे भी हमको सैप इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ और फिर ट्रेनिंग दी गई और सबको जो है सैप में ही काम करना पड़ा, पेपर वर्क बंद हो गया।
I know, sir. Yes.
तो टेक्नोलॉजी एक ऐसी चीज़ है कि कहीं पे किसी के लिए सुटेबल है, दूसरी जगह पे दूसरी टेक्नोलॉजी सुटेबल है, और ये फास्ट चेंजिंग होती रहती है। ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है डिसीजन लेते रहते हैं कि किस वर्कर को, किस स्टाफ ग्रुप को कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी की ट्रेनिंग दी जाए। तो ये जो आपका ये जैसे मान लीजिए कि हमारा लड़का पढ़ रहा है 10th में या 12th में पढ़ रहा है, तो हम ये चाहेंगे कि वो इंजीनियरिंग का
Correct.
एक कंपटीशन दे या
Yes.
फिर मेडिकल का कंपटीशन दे।
Yes, sir.
उसमें तो टेक्नोलॉजी जो उसका कोर्स है सीबीएसई का या कंपटीशन का, वही उसी में से क्वेश्चंस आएंगे।
Yes, sir. Agreed.
टेक्नोलॉजी में से तो क्वेश्चंस आएंगे। टेक्नोलॉजी कैन हेल्प इन रीडिंग स्टडी या ये सब में हेल्प कर सकता है, लेकिन
Yes, sir.
टेक्नोलॉजी इज ए वेरी वाइड सब्जेक्ट जो आप कहना चाह रहे हैं। और ये जो वर्किंग क्लास है, जैसे बहुत सारे बच्चे जो हैं पार्ट टाइम वर्कर्स हैं या जो किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम कर रहे हैं, वो स्विच करना चाह रहे हैं दूसरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में अपने करियर ग्रोथ के लिए, तो ऐसे बच्चों के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी का अपना कंटिन्यूअस अपग्रेड करना बहुत ज़रूरी है।
Agreed.
और आपको जो है ये देखना चाहिए कि हमारा जो ये टॉपिक है, सब्जेक्ट है, उसका बेनिफिट किसको मिल सकता है, किस तरह के ऑडियंस को, तो वो सेलेक्ट करके वो आपको टारगेट करना चाहिए। मुझे नहीं लगता कि 8, 9, 10 में सबको टेक्नोलॉजी जानने की ज़रूरत है। अगर कोई लड़का मेडिकल में जाना चाह रहा है, फिजियोथेरेपी में जाना चाह रहा है या क्रिकेट खेलना चाह रहा है, तो अब उसमें सारे बच्चे उसी 10th या 12th में पढ़ते हैं।
Right.
तो अब टेक्नोलॉजी जो है एक क्लास में पढ़ाई जाएगी तो सारे बच्चों को पढ़ना पड़ेगा ना।
Right, sir. Agreed.
ये इशू पे आपको ध्यान दे करके फिर आपको कंसंट्रेट करना चाहिए कि हमको पार्ट टाइम कैसे हम क्लास डिजाइन करें
कैसे हो
जिससे
सकते हैं क्लास
आपको लोग अप्रोच करें। दैट इज माय व्यू।
Agreed, sir. Agreed.
ओके थैंक
Definitely.
यू।
Yes.
So, Dhanasingh sir, thank you very much. So now I think we have answered most of the questions, and we are very much thankful to Mr. Imran. उनका तो अभी ये कुछ रोजा चल रहा है,
Not yet, sir. I'm free. अभी चालू नहीं हुआ है।
हुआ है, तो फिर भी he has spared the time with us. He is quite busy. He is handling more than 300 developers who are developing this curriculum. And in spite of his busy schedule, he has agreed to come and deliver this Saturday evening talk. So we are very much thankful to him. And I think he has answered most of the questions. And anybody who is basically willing to take the training as a teacher to our institute, probably you can come and register yourself. We provide free training program to all the people who want to be the teachers for the schools. So we are going to do this training program. You give your name, and whenever we are going to do the workshop, we will send you the invite and you can come and attend. So with this, I end this program. Thank you very much.
Deepak bhai, this training to the teacher, this will be at physical training at your location, or will it be online?
See, both the things, there are physical training at my place, and the people who cannot come physically, for them it is going to be the online.
Okay. And it will be in the conjunction with Imran bhai's firm, or it is independent of that?
See, this is physically it will be done at Roshani, under Roshani Technology Foundation, free of by us. And Imran also basically provide his organization also provide free training to the teachers who are teaching computer subject in the school. So this is basically both way. But only thing is that we request all those who are interested in getting this training, register your name over here. Whenever we do the workshop, we will send you the invite and then you will come and attend the program.
Okay. Do keep me in loop whenever you are having such kind of a workshop. I would like to discuss this in a offline.
Of the keen learner, I know. So I think that we have excellent interaction with Imran Bhai, and he is one of the topmost professionals, and I think he has justified today's program. So with this, I think I'll end this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Imran Bhai.
Thank you very much, sir. And please do let me know in future if I can again come in. I would like to be a part of this kind of discussions. At least we'll come to know what is happening in the industry. If you
If you are physically coming anytime to Baroda or any other place.
I'm expected. It depends on Deepak, sir. I was in Baroda around some days back.
Okay.
So I will definitely, whenever I'm there again, I will definitely connect with Deepak, sir, and take this side, sir. Sure.
Please.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Thank you very much for your time, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Kishore bhai, Imran bhai is one of the most brilliant person I ever seen. And
Right.
he is basically very down to earth. You will never
Correct.
that he is handling more than 300 developers.
Where are they located?
I'm based in Mumbai, and our team is spread across the country. We have a lot of them working from home for us now, and we have our offices in Noida, Mumbai. So we have teams spread across.
For your team also, Imranji, if you need any IT related infra this thing, we
Yes.
can help you. We have a lot of customers who are in development company kind of this thing, where we provide a 3-year or a long-term 5-year contract and give them the machines appropriate for their environment.
Yes, so we will definitely once we meet, we will definitely take this ahead and have a word with you. What you have on this?
ठीक है.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please end this program.
Recording stopped.